This marks the beginning of the FairTV Commission meeting for Wednesday, September 20th at 8 p.m. or now 8:15 p.m. as we sort out some WebEx challenges. I call this meeting to order with FairTV production manager Luke Altieri in attendance, along with FairTV Commission members Will Ferguson and Lee Camlett. Opening remarks. I don't have any opening remarks, so I will pass the baton actually over to Will, considering Paul is not with us at this moment for the secretary report.
Thanks, David. I have nothing additional to report. Only in the last meeting, given it was a more attended meeting than historically, we actually overlooked just a piece of detail by not passing the minutes from the previous meeting. So with that, I would like to make a motion to pass the minutes from our July 19th meeting. If anyone would like to second that.
Second that.
I second it.
Great. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. The motion passes unanimously. And then I think there was just some lost in space issues with the minutes from the August meeting, as they were getting typed up given the heightened attendance. I'm going to resend those out, and then we can get those passed at the next meeting. I think, David, you had said you hadn't seen them, so I don't know if something just got.
I might have overlooked them, to be honest.
I did not see them either.
Yeah, I think it might have gotten stuck in my outbox, or I'm not entirely sure. I'll take ownership of that. So I'll send those out, inclusive, addition to these minutes from tonight's meeting, and then at the next meeting in October, we can pass the minutes from August and September.
Do you still have cleanup? Is there still some maintenance to be done on them? And I'm asking.
No,
okay.
no. They were completed after the meeting, and I spend an hour doing punctuation and common sense.
I don't know if this requires a motion, but is it worthwhile to send it out while we're on the call here with the goal of passing, approving those minutes now, knowing you take minutes, you do a very diligent, thorough job at it, and the sooner they're approved, in theory, they can be posted, I think.
Yeah, the only reason I would, I'd say the only reason I wouldn't, is just because Paul is not on right now. Just to, again, because the last meeting was probably the most controversial / attended meeting in FairTV's history.
Sure.
I want to afford everyone the opportunity to review it, make sure that it's reflected accurately before it gets posted. That's all.
So why don't you make a motion to punt that to the October meeting?
Great. I will make a motion to have the August meetings minutes reviewed and then sent for approval during our October meeting.
Second.
I second that.
Great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the motion passes unanimously. All right, that's it from me. Thank you.
Luke, indulge us. First, let's actually just, because it is time sensitive, let's start in your manager's report. And obviously this fuses like you and Lee. And Lee, I caught your note from the other day with the CAC and the grant status, because I think that's really important. Then we can get to other things in your zone.
Yeah. So so we received a grant past, I guess, the last week or so from the CAC, which is the Cable Advisory Council. They help to fund FairTV through cable companies, fund them, and then they distribute the funds based on who applies for the grant. We apply every year, and basically this year we got about $8,000 or so approved and sent over basically what this is gonna use, what we're gonna use it for, I anticipate, is software. There's a few software upgrades that we need to do, as well as some hardware stuff that's in the office. And that's pretty much all what it's gonna cover. And then maybe some odds and ends stuff if cables, connectors, etc.
Lou, can you identify what Jerry requested and how that's differing from at least your view at this point?
Yeah, I mean, so he essentially requested all backup equipment for stuff that's on the rack that we have in town hall. Some of that I definitely think it's good to have. Some of it is obsolete in my eyes, and I think we don't need it, and we can just redistribute the funds elsewhere, like some software that has expired, and and would definitely help the production and post-production of Fair TV.
So do you want to provide, I mean, I'm not as familiar with this, even if we've done this in the last year or two, but will you be providing us with like sort of a wish list, or how exactly
Yeah,
do we go about earmarking
in order
it?
to actually get the items that we requested and any additional items, that has to still go through you guys. So we'll probably have to sign off on any purchase through that. So once we do end up ordering it, I'm going to make a list, and then I'll share it with you guys before I make any purchases, obviously with an explanation of what everything is, just so you know.
Is that something you could pull together before the next meeting?
Yeah, I mean, I just have to see, because as far as availability of products and whatnot, and purchasing goes, like I said, we have until, I think, December to use it all. So
Okay.
everything won't be used up until December. So it might be stuff, what we need now based on what we need, a couple months from now.
Is there anything urgent, and this sort of comes back to, streaming quality as a whole, but is there anything that this money can be used for that would improve your, recordings, et cetera, and streaming as we speak?
Not at the moment. Like I said, I mean, this kind of ties into my second point, is the whole Zoom room setup. Like, that's kind of what's holding us back at this point, because we're kind of waiting on the town and the Board of Ed to finish these installs. So that's why the production isn't up to maybe what I'd like it to be, but we're waiting on the vendor to finish those installs before we can actually be fully operational there.
Do we have I mean, I feel like I'm a broken record, but do we have an estimated time for completion?
Yeah, so according to the last few meetings that at the town hall with Sullivan Hall and Fire Training Station, those both are operational. I don't know if they're completed as far as Dave Kelly is concerned, and if he signed off on the company that the job is completed, but I know they used it in the last couple meetings. I know they're still working out some bugs. As far as the Board of Ed, that's not even operational yet. Everything's kind of installed. They're just waiting for the programmers to finish tweaking and editing, finishing everything so it's perfectly up to spec.
So, and obviously this isn't for you, Luke, or at you, but I think the expectation out of the last meeting was that the rooms would be fully functional, approved, tested somewhere between mid-September and early October. Do we think that that's pushing? We should probably push that back.
Yeah, I would say, just because it's tough. We're dealing with this third-party vendor, and they kind of it's kind of in their hands now, and the town's hands, to kind of go back and forth with them. I know they were there, I think, at Board of Ed last week, working on some things. They were hoping to finish, and that's kind of why I made that estimation. But of course, it didn't go as planned. So I know they will have to come back at another time. Like again, for that would have to go, any questions on that would have to go to Dave Kelly, as he's the one, him and the IT director at Board of Ed, they kind of are in talks with them and scheduling and whatnot. But yeah, I'd like to say it would be done in the beginning of October. I mean, that's a good hope for, aim shot for, but like I don't want to put any, ETA finish time on something that's kind of been taking 3 years to get going. So that's
Do you feel
Can I-
like, go ahead, Lee.
I was just going to ask, how long have they been at this in terms of the install?
yeah. So I think they started talks of the actual install like in 2020 when COVID hit. When they actually showed up to start installing things was about, I want to say, end of the summer or so, maybe like beginning of August.
This year or last year?
This year.
Oh, okay.
So there's been a lot of
Hmm.
talks, but nothing's actually started as far as installs and whatnot until the last month or two.
Okay.
Is there any, do you feel like, I mean, I don't know, we can sit here, we meet obviously once a month, like, I just want to have a plan going forward when we, all we can really do is ask the same questions you are.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and
would that
like
be,
I said, I think I could probably say that by next meeting, hopefully everything is done. That's kind of where I'm at now. I mean, they definitely did make some progress in the Board of Ed room, but again, it's not up to spec, and the IT
Right.
director hasn't allowed us to actually use the room because she sees it as not done as well. So so that's kind of where we are, but I definitely see improvement. So I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping by next meeting, I can say for sure that it's, somewhat operational, if not completed.
well, the good news is you are truly on top of the Board of Ed situation. I mean, that's where your worlds
Well,
collide,
that's
right?
the thing. It's kind of nice that I can kind of see both ends of it, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of in on to some degree. I'm in the inside track there to kind of get some more information than the average, but I don't know 100% of all of it. So
Okay.
and then yeah, I think that's the only other thing too I want to kind of mention, and as far as grants go, I did find out about another grant that I will be applying for. Hopefully, in maybe October or November, I think they open up the applicants, and this one is the Peg Pisha grant. It's another education video production kind of grant. They do, in the past, they do offer more money, so I'm gonna hopefully ask a little bit more than what Jerry asked for this one, the one that was just the CAC. And hopefully with that money, I'll use it to upgrade the two broadcast servers that we have. Both of those are out of warranty and discontinued, so the support on those is none. So I'd like to get those replaced this year, if not the beginning of next year, 2024. So that, again, that would, if I could get that grant money applied in November, I'm not sure when they pay it out, but if I could get that, use it for the upgrade for that, that would be huge.
Sorry, what is the organization that provides this?
It's Peg Pisha, and I think it's a government, kind of the same kind of grant. So it's through the education and a bunch of different school districts and whatnot. They issue to. So I think it's through the ct.gov site.
Okay, and do you need some support making the application?
No, I should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get all that set up. like I said, it's not, the window isn't open yet to actually apply. I think it opens up in maybe October or November. I know they have a meeting soon about it to discuss whatever. So hopefully I'll know some more on that moving forward. But yeah, once that opens up, I got a quote from a vendor. He's going to work on it, send it over tomorrow, hopefully, to get all that upgraded, and then I'll apply for it to get some money for that. Hopefully that comes through because that would be helpful.
Got it. Okay.
And that should help the overall production, better quality, better
Right.
consistency, and definitely make it a lot more efficient on our end.
Okay. Lee, Will?
No, sounds great.
Yeah.
I want to just state sort of for the record, because it's unnecessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. Oddly, this grant check was mailed to my attention at Town Hall. I say odd because nobody engaged me on it. Obviously, I don't receive any mail at Town Hall, and they stuck a $8,000 check in an envelope, which Dave Kelly flagged, brought to my attention. He opened up, and that was rerouted. Needless to say, I mean, it was made out to the right. It was made out to the town, right? So Luke, I'm sort of throwing it back to you. Has that been resolved as far as getting deposited into the right allocations?
Yeah, so they did ask me about the allocations for it, because like again, it's the first year we're doing this. Jerry didn't make any specific of what percentages should go into education, what percentages should go into government. I just put it 50-50, split it in half. To be honest, most of our stuff we share between both anyways, but I just figured for the first year we're doing this, kind of split into both, and then we'll see moving forward if, one needs more, one uses the, more the other way. And then we can make adjustments for next year. But I just, we did 50-50. It's not in yet. I talked with Dave and Juliana over at town, and they said it's not in yet, but hopefully in soon.
Okay, so it's not in yet? I mean, what's taking the time?
I have no idea. Yeah, I just
Okay.
just heard back from Dave Kelly today, and he said it's still not in. But I don't know if they wanted to make sure that we had the right distribution of it or whatnot, but hopefully it's in tomorrow and by the end of the week, because there is
Okay.
some stuff I'd like to start buying with it.
Yeah, if it's not in by Monday, can you
Yep.
let me know?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Is that the extent of your
Yeah.
report?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I got today.
We'll come back to the CAC in a moment. As far as new business goes, we don't have sort of like it's sort of back to same business as usual, or business as usual. There's no progress on a commissioner that's worth discussing. At this point, when they have somebody. I don't think it's worth us continually asking, because in the end, it involves the interest, first and foremost, from a member of the town, in this case, a Republican registered voter and town resident, and then, them going through the motions, if you will, or the approval process, which we know, tripped up the last candidate as far as his attendance or willingness to see it through. So even if the interest is there to pursue it, getting in front of what the RTM and the board are the necessary steps. And we do have 4 of us, and as long as there's 4, not 3 on these calls, we can keep going. But that, leaves us, like tonight, I mean, there's margin of error for one person, missing, and we all have obviously obligations in our own lives that can take us away from this from time to time. So there's really nothing new to report there.
I have a question. I didn't
Oh,
somebody,
there you are.
there
Hi,
I
Lee.
am. Didn't somebody, I thought I saw an application from
Yeah.
a woman who worked at a hospital or a medical place. Did she withdraw?
The last I knew was that um, the RTM member, no, I'm sorry, the Board of Select person, Nancy Lefkowitz, had sort of put the question to us, I think in the spirit of, trying to be collaborative, like what do we think? And obviously Nancy knows and everybody knows it's, we can have an opinion, but I mean, we have no say over this, who this person is. And so I'm only drawing a conclusion here that I don't think much has happened. And Jen Carpenter, who I specifically asked who the candidates go through, didn't have an update.
So she was never scheduled before the Board of Select person.
Right, and I thought she would, and that's why I guess I'm sort of saying indirectly, like, much ado about nothing.
Okay.
People can submit a resume, they can say they're interested, but they've got to, I think it goes first before RTM and then
No, it's the other
the
way
board.
around. Board of Select
Really?
person's
Oh,
first.
okay. Okay. Well, to my knowledge, neither has happened. I mean, Luke, I know, you sometimes tune into the beginning of a meeting. I don't know if you've heard anything.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's fine. I mean, it's fine until it's not fine. That's the best way to put it. I mean, it tripped us up once over the summer, summer vacation, and, the chips will fall where they may. And I don't think having a special meeting, is a big deal. It just happened to come at a sort of a crunch time as far as the topic du jour. Just moving along here. Will, is there anything you wanted to say about that?
No, nothing for me.
The CAC meetings, which I believe are the actual meetings for the Cable Advisory Council, I think are monthly. I get such sporadic invites. I mean, we know that there's one tomorrow night. Understood, Lee, that you have a prior engagement or, a conflict. Do we know, the gist of like, what happens? Because none of us obviously have any history with attending these meetings. They just didn't happen for a long period of time. So I guess I might be asking the wrong people, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it because I've never been able to get a clear answer.
Yeah, I don't know much. I just looked it up. It looks like they meet the third Thursday of the month. So it looks like it's every month.
Okay.
You send me an agenda at one point. Let's see if I can call it up on my phone. Or the agenda. The agenda you sent me. Meeting begins at 7:30. Chairman's comments, open discussion, budget report, GATA report, whatever that is, membership and adjournment.
That's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night.
Okay.
But I don't know what the GATA report is.
I have no idea. I mean, we're all, flat out in our own right for various reasons, and I'm not going to ask anybody. Obviously, anybody can volunteer, but I would be remiss, as I've done so far in this meeting, to embarrass Will by saying he's now the proud father again of a baby boy.
Oh, great.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Will.
Thank you
Evan,
very much.
It's awesome.
Will, give us a snapshot of the life of Evan Brown Ferguson.
Yeah, he's lots of eating, sleeping, and diaper filling. He's currently chilling in the living room with mom. But yeah, came Saturday morning in the early hours, a couple weeks early by measurement standards, but not to our surprise by any means. And yeah, him and mom are doing well, happy and healthy, and sleeping as well as you can expect from a 4-day old. So here we are.
So,
Congratulations.
yeah,
Thank you.
Congratulations.
a heartfelt congratulations. You are clearly the person who should take up, an hour of your non-existent time to attend the Cable Advisory Committee meeting tomorrow night. Just kidding. Um, yeah. So in any event, I wanted to mention that in the beginning, and it eluded my mind, because that's what babies do.
I think what I will say on this, I think we had talked about it, maybe David, you, Paul, and I, when Jerry was still here,
Yeah.
when he had brought this up. I think I don't know if he had let us know that he was planning to leave yet. But I think part of the spirited discussion there was that he was suggesting that one of us represent Fair TV
Right.
and Fairfield in this capacity, and I cannot find it. I cannot remember where.
Yeah.
But I thought I had seen something where maybe just in the members, right? Like council members from Fairfield were Jerry and Tom Flynn, maybe, and somebody else. And again, who knows how outdated that is. But I'm not sure if any of those people were actual Fair TV commissioners,
Yeah.
or if it was and again, Luke, I'm not trying to get you roped into it. The production manager, it's like unclear who's actually expected at these things. And I think, I know we've tried to make some contact. I think it'd be good to get some guidance from someone who can clearly articulate who is on the council,
Right.
what is the purpose of it, what do the meetings look like, and then who from these other areas, who attends from Bridgeport and from Milford and from
Right.
Orange. Is it Fair TV commissioners? Is it government people? Is it the production manager?
Yeah.
Is it a treasurer? Like who is
I
actually
think
attending?
Jerry
And
had taken
not that we use that as law,
Right.
but
Right.
it could guide us in making our determination of how much we
Agreed.
participate and who we put up to do it. I think that's
So
the only way we can make an informed decision.
I
Yeah.
found on the Fairfield CT website, I see a thing of like a page about the CAC, and it says it shows the members listed, but it's last updated 2015, so it's like 10 years old. So I don't know if that helps at all. I mean, Thomas Flynn, I don't even know who. It has him under BOE, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure he's no longer there.
Tom Flynn, I thought was Board of.
And it shows him under BOE, but I don't know what that means. I mean,
Well, who
He's
knows what he was in 2015?
yeah,
Right,
exactly.
but he's currently Board of Selectmen.
Right.
Yeah.
But I doubt anyone else is sending their select people to.
Who is Stuart Strelzer?
Do not know.
Well, here's what.
I'm looking at their webpage, which says the Fairfield Council members are Jerry Speno, Stuart Strelzer, and Tom Flynn. But look, I apologize for tomorrow night. It's a condolence call, and it's just one of those things.
Fine.
I'm happy to try to track down and answer your questions about what this really is, who attends, why we're only invited every once in a while. I mean, if you look at the webpage, it says.
Oh.
Well, anyway.
I was just saying, I've got something. I've opened their bylaws because I've navigated to the similar page here.
Yeah.
And under membership, chief elected official of each town in the franchise area shall appoint one or more members who are residents of the town in accordance with population. So based on population size, you have 1, 2, or 3 members, or 4 members. Number 2, the Board of Education in each town in the franchise area shall appoint one additional member for the council. Such member need not be a member of said board nor reside in the town of employment. And then one additional member shall be appointed to the council to represent all of the libraries of general public use within the franchise area. So, and then each franchise shall appoint one member who shall possess some expertise in the field of cable television and serve as a non-voting member.
It sounds like it's
I can
all over
send
the
this
place.
link out, but so what it sounds like is the chief elected official, in this case, the first select woman, would appoint somebody, or I mean, we've got, don't crucify me, we have 60,000 residents, is that right? At least?
Something like that.
Yeah. So we would appoint 4 members. She would appoint 4 people to attend. Board of Ed would then appoint another person, a 5th. An additional member from the libraries would be a 6th. And then a cable television expert as a non-voting member would serve as the 7th, from the best that I can tell.
So I found the CAC website.
Yeah, because I'm looking at.
I went under About Us, and it shows that Ron Davis, he's the chairman.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Marlene Silverstein is the vice chair. So she's the one I've been in contact with about the whole check and the grant money. If you'd like, I can reach out to her. I could see you guys and kind of get a conversation started and see what we're required and what needs to happen. I mean, if you'd like, I can start that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think Lee is, happy to sort of pick up. I mean, I don't want to speak out of turn, but he said, or speak for you, Lee, but just, maybe just make an intro, to Lee because he can take this on. I'm not sure what that means. I remember the initial problem I had with it because I was considering taking it on a year ago is that it always hit like the day after our meetings. And I think, it's a lot to ask somebody to, dedicate essentially, parts of 2 nights in a row in a month. But if it's something real, if it's something real that we think is important to be, us to be represented on, we only have a couple more meetings till the end of the year, but I would consider switching our meeting to another week so that it's easier, for a person to do it and not feel like, they're losing 2 nights in a row because this takes out like the chunk of your night. You can't get this time back.
Well, they have 6 pages of bylaws. It's
I don't think they're doing much of anything. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, look, if Luke, if you want to make some sort of introduction and connect me to them, I'll try to sort it out and see what it is.
Yeah, like I said, I just had communication with her about the check, so I can definitely introduce you guys and kind of get that conversation.
I can reach out to her directly.
I'll give you the introduction just because, like I said, I've been in contact with her the last few days, so it'd be a good kind of springboard into our introduction.
That's fine, and I'll see if I can sort out what it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just tell them, obviously we want to have a seat at the table. Just it's not going to happen tomorrow night. That's all. Okay, it's 8:45 here. Let's keep moving. Have we found that, streaming, there's always somebody who, internet is not working or, might have a complaint, but how do we feel, the streaming quality as a whole has been, or the recording and the streaming?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, I've definitely gotten a lot of feedback on the positive side. I know on the Board of Ed, a lot of people, they love the YouTube Live, and they said, everything's running a lot smoother now, less kind of hiccups, less chaos, so to speak. So that's good. I mean, that's what I've been hearing. I know there's been issues. Lee's brought up about the cameras and all that, but that's all based on the Zoom room setups, and that's out of our hands. We're just kind of working with what we got at this point. But as far as the quality, stream quality, accessibility, I think I've definitely gotten a lot of positive feedback.
Do you know where the RTM meeting of 2 nights ago was? Which where it was held?
Let me look it up. RTM 2 nights ago. That was at Board of Ed.
Because a neighbor sent me a note that the audio was terrible.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Those mics
mics.
they have,
Yeah,
they think they have to put their mouth on the mic and they scream into the mic. So it's, I mean, we had to turn it down a lot and it kind of tweak it because I know they they scream into the mic and it gives a lot of feedback. And I know my worker Paxton said that I think maybe after halfway into the meeting they finally realized that they can step back from the mic, and it was get a lot better audio quality from there.
Can Paxton call this out, or whoever is the producer in the beginning of the meeting going forward?
Yeah, we could. I mean, I'm pretty sure we do every time anyways, but I don't know. That's just how things go, you know.
Well, I just would
And this is
say,
the same. I mean, this is the same mics they've been using for
yeah,
5 or 6 years. So you think they would,
yeah, but he shouldn't be shy. Nobody should be shy from our end. I don't care if it's
No, of
disruptive,
course,
but I
of course.
mean,
I'll
just
let
to
him
tell
know
them,
too.
yeah, and just tell all the producers that if they see them doing this, just to simply, interject, put their hand up and say, hey, please, move away
Yep.
from the mic for those, otherwise people watching at home or elsewhere are simply not going to hear you.
Yep.
I think that would be helpful, and if they still keep doing it, well, then we've,
And Leah, do you know if that complaint was based on the YouTube live or was it the cable
no,
feed?
he said he was watching a recording, so I assume it's
oh,
the YouTube, but he didn't say.
Okay.
Why would that make a difference?
Because it's two separate feeds. Just because we have the broadcast that goes into the cable that goes back
Right.
to the town and then goes through the rack, goes through audio mixer and then out into the cable companies, whereas YouTube just goes straight from our production box right into the YouTube. So two separate
I suspect it was the former, knowing him.
yeah, for
Because
the
I've told
YouTube.
him the quality is so much better on YouTube, and he sort of refuses to, I think.
So you think it was through the cable?
That would be my guess.
Okay. So I could take a look at that.
Yeah.
And was it was during the meeting or was it like after the fact?
He just said, I'm watching the recording of RTM September 18th meeting.
And that was yesterday he said it?
He said it this morning. But he must have just watched the recording this morning.
Okay. I could look back and see. I mean, I didn't hear anything else, so maybe.
Well, I'll ask him what he was watching.
Yeah, if you could get that, that would be helpful.
Sure.
okay. That's really it. Just looking. Yeah, that's really it. Anyone have any other, new business?
Nope, I do not.
Do we see for any reason, just since we are talking about numbers, anybody have a conflict, on October or whatever the date is? October, sorry. I'm not being very helpful here.
October
18.
18, yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be fine.
October 18th is the next one. Yeah, I could do that. I'll be away, just so you guys know, I'll be away from the 6th through like the 13th. So, and I'll be in another country, so I won't have too much access to
That's fine. Just send us an email, again, as a reminder.
Yep.
A couple days before, and namely, if you want to throw Paxton on it, just so we have his,
Yep. Sounds good. And I'll have an automatic reply on my email. So if anyone tries to get in touch, I'll have them forward to the FairTV Commission alias.
Oh, you mean okay, if someone wants to reach the committee.
Yeah, just if there's like an emergency or something, they're trying to get a hold of me
Yeah.
for some.
Well, I would put Paxton down there too.
Yep,
Okay.
of course. So Lee, I just want to let you know I did do a quick scan of the RTM meeting,
Yep.
and I did see one guest or one speaker that came up to the mic then got bad sound quality, but it's because he had his hand on the mic and he was talking like this, covering it.
It's always helpful.
Yeah. So, and then the next person who spoke was perfect. So he just had his hand literally over the mic, covering the entire microphone. So that would be it.
We just won't invite him to the next
Yeah.
contest.
I mean, maybe we should put a note. Don't put your hand over the entire mic to speak. So that should answer your question about the sound for that one.
Thank you.
I did put that Peg Pisha grant information in the chat just so you can kind of look at it. Kind of explains it a little bit farther than what I said before. Just so you guys know, just for the record.
$3.5 million?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. A lot of it could definitely get a lot more money from that. I know the Board of Ed, the IT department, they use that for certain things as well, and they've been approved for a good chunk of money. So that should help.
All right. If nobody has anything else, I'll make a meeting to adjourn this. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Well, thank you all. Luke, have safe and fun travels. Don't forget just to ping us because we're all caught up on our own stuff.
Yep, I'll let you know.
Just, Lee, thanks for sort of taking this on and seeing what, the CAC means.
Sure.
And Will, as you well know, grab that sleep when you can.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Thank you all.
Yep. Good night.
Good night. Have a
Good
good night.
Bye-bye.